Hey guys, HDvee here and welcome to a brand new video. Today we've got quite a few things to go over. We've got a ton of updates to take a look at for various different Pokemon games. We have new theories and rumors to go over for Pokemon Legends ZA. There's a lot of things to break down and get into today. So if you're excited for the video, as always, make sure to drop a like down below. Let's try and hit 500 likes. It really helps out. Leave a comment with your thoughts on anything we cover in today's video. Subscribe if you're brand new. Ring the notification bell. With all of that out of the way, let's get into the video and I really hope that you enjoy. So, starting things off, we have this to go over quickly. It's a reminder from HDvee. It's quite a big reminder as well. If you weren't aware, of course, the 3DS online features are closing down on the 9th of April. And after this date, you will never be able to play online on the 3DS games again. And that's including, obviously, Pokemon X and Y, Sun and Moon, Auras, games like that. We have HDvee here tweeting out saying, HDvee reminder, the online features for Nintendo 3DS games will be terminated at midnight UTC on April the 9th. This includes online battles, trading, and more for Pokemon X, Y, Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, Sun and Moon, and Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon as well. Pokemon Bank will still run for the foreseeable future and local play will still function. So yeah, Pokemon Bank is still going to be available. We don't know how long for. Again, I'm still expecting that to also close down at some point this year, but there's been no confirmation of that. We just know that that is staying. And then obviously you can still play locally as well. So yeah, it's quite a big day, I guess, for 3DS in general, because it's not just the Pokemon games, it's online functionality for every 3DS game. So if you play like, I don't know, Smash Bros on the 3DS, you still won't be able to do that either. So yeah, it's quite sad. You know, it's the end of an era, definitely. But I also wanted to quickly go over this as well, kind of Soul Silver and a few other people talking about it as well. Saying, well, we had V here saying, so like, when is Pokemon going to announce Worlds dates? Because that wasn't something that we got at the Pokemon Presents on Pokemon Day. And usually, for the February Pokemon Presents, we always get Worlds information because Worlds is happening later this year and we get like dates and stuff like that. We know where it is, we just don't know much more about it. And the fact that we didn't get it is another reason as to why I believe that we might get some sort of press conference this year, because there's that they need to cover. There's the Generation 5 remakes that they could potentially announce. They could go over Pokemon Pocket, and they could also talk about the whole Pokemon Bank situation as well. So I think it's more likely this year, even though we haven't had a Pokemon press conference in May since 2019 when Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee was announced, and Pokemon Sleep and Detective Pikachu 2. We haven't had one since then, which was 5 years ago, but I think it's a little bit more likely this year because there's so much information they need to give us, and they just haven't given it us yet. So, yeah, we have Soul Silver out here saying maybe in the next Pokemon Presents, where they will also announce outsourced Black and White remakes and the Pokemon and Pokemon Works, which again is another thing they also need to announce. Like, Pokemon Works is something that they haven't officially revealed yet. We just know about it because of trademarks and stuff like that. Probably in late April, May, or even maybe early June. So, also interested to bring up related to our next potential Pokemon news drop. Of course, this might not be connected at all, but I think sooner rather than later, the Pokemon Company might try to fix the bank ending issue. Maybe they'll update us on how they are going to deal with it in the future in the next potential presents. Maybe it's just as simple as the Elemental Monkeys, Furfrou, and the Patrat line could just come in Black and White remakes / Pokemon Legends ZA, or maybe new ports, or a new app to get Pokemon from your old games, or maybe they leave Bank alive indefinitely. I don't think they'll leave Bank alive. I think it's just not really. If every Pokemon is available on the Switch, I don't think there's really that much reason to keep Bank alive. If they give us enough time to like trade everything across, like if they say, okay, this time next year, Pokemon Bank is going to close. You've got a year to do it. If you don't do it in that year, it's your own fault. You know, they give us a big time to do it. If they do it like, oh, in a couple of weeks we're closing Bank, then that won't be good because not everyone's going to be able to do everything in that time. But if they give us a long enough time to do it all, then I don't think it'd be that bad, and especially if every Pokemon was available on the Switch, because obviously right now, not every Pokemon is available. Like I said, the Elemental Monkeys, the Patrat line, Furfrou is going to be available in Legends ZA. We know that. It was shown in the trailer. But the Patrat line and the Elemental Monkeys could possibly not be. Now, of course, the Elemental Monkeys, I believe, were in a forest in X and Y, so they should be in Legends ZA. But the Patrat line, we don't know. But, of course, if we get Generation 5 remakes this year, then obviously that would help fix that out, because it'd get all the Elemental Monkeys, the Patrat line will be in that game, and then Furfrou will be in Legends ZA. So that would be every Pokemon available on the Nintendo Switch. So maybe that's when they start thinking about closing Bank for forever. But as I say, it's just a little bit more reasoning as to why we could potentially get a press conference this year, just because there is, like I say, so much more information. Again, it's another reason why that Presents in February did not feel like a Pokemon Day Presents, because it was very short and they just didn't go into detail about loads of things that they usually do. You know, they usually go through like worlds, they usually go through like a bit of a timeline and stuff like that. It just didn't feel like a celebration of Pokemon, really. It just felt like a quick presents they wanted to get out just because they had to, which maybe is another reason why they didn't show any gameplay of Legends ZA and stuff like that. But anyway, I wanted to quickly talk about that. Just again, I'm not saying there's definitely going to be a press conference. There probably isn't going to be one. It's just there's a little bit more likeliness surrounding the idea this year because of all these things they still need to tell us about. And I don't know if we'll get a present, because like the press conference isn't a presents, it's like a whole completely different thing. And I don't think we'll get a presents as early as like April again after just having one in February. I still think the presents will be in August, but if we get a press conference in like May, that's just going to be a really nice kind of middle ground. So we had a presents in February, press conference in May, presents in August. That'd be fine. So anyway, that's all that. Moving on, we just have another little theory to go over about Legends ZA from Light here. So shout out to them, but they're saying if the plot of Pokemon Legends ZA is also going to be involved with the vital energy, and then remember that AZ took vital energy of the Pokemon to shoot the ultimate weapon, a good plot could be that the same life of Lumiose City is going to be absorbed to shoot the ultimate weapon or something related with it, a reference to FMA with a transmutation circle. So this means that the villains want to sacrifice all the citizens and Pokemon of Lumiose City in order to get the vital energy of them. But we can't say that this Lumiose City is the same timeline as X and Y, so probably some events are different or never happened. I really want the evil team in this game to be properly evil, you know. The last few games, they just haven't really given that evil kind of vibe. You know, Team Star, and the Sun and Moon evil team, Team Skull, and, you know, the Sword and Shield evil team, they just weren't really up to scratch. And I feel like we need a proper evil team again that wants to take over the world, that wants to destroy everything. You know, just give me one of them, because it just makes it feel a little bit more rewarding to kind of save the world instead of just, I guess, fighting a couple of trainers that are just a little bit annoyed at something. I don't know. I just want an evil team properly trying to like take over the world again. And I think like the Legends games are a little bit more mature in that way, so I think it's more likely to happen in this kind of game than like Generation 9 or Generation 10 or something like that. But either way, I think it's a really cool theory if, you know, that was one of the plot points, and yeah, I would absolutely love that to happen. Anyway, moving on, we of course have the new Pokemon Go update. It is now live, the new Rocket event. So we have HDvee here tweeting out saying the Pokemon Go World of Wonders Taken Over event is starting to roll out. I think it's live everywhere now. It ran from midnight UTC local time, well, just midnight local time until 23:59 local time on March the 31st, 2024. So we've got a few days to play this. This is everything that's happening during this event. So you get a Team Rocket Go Balloon every 2 hours, and then Shadow Pokemon move Frustration. You can remove that with a Charged TM. These specific Pokemon spawn more frequently, so Murkrow, Sableye, Purloin, Scraggy, Zorua, Vullaby, Dino, and Inkay, all of which can be shiny now in Pokemon Go. New shiny Pokemon in the event are Sandile, Krokorok, and Krookodile, so that's really, really cool to see. I actually really like this shiny line. And then new Shadow Pokemon in the event, obviously Groudon for doing the research. You get Pidgey, the Pidgey line, the Darumaka line, the Gothita line, and the Solosis line, now all available to be Shadow Pokemon. We have event-specific raid battles, so we have Poliwag, which can be shiny, Drowsy, which can be shiny, Barbroach, Fungus, Wobbuffet, Sneasel, which can be shiny, Hitmontop, and then Mewtwo, which can be shiny as well. And then this is the event-exclusive field research, so just defeating Team Rocket members and purifying Shadow Pokemon to get different encounters, obviously can be shiny as well. And then we have timed research as well, so this is available to everybody where you just have to catch a bunch of Dark-type Pokemon, you get XP for doing it all, and then also you get a Vullaby encounter and stuff like that. And then also catching Shadow Pokemon, you also get some stuff for that as well. Just a lot of Pineapple Berries, really. And then obviously chasing Team Rocket Go, you just have to defeat more Rocket Grunts, you get some more mysterious components, Super Incubator, yada yada yada. And then there's special research as well, where you can just get encounters doing things. Like I say, it's all in the app. If you are playing Pokemon Go, you probably know about this anyway. And then there's also event Team Go Rocket encounters. So Arlo can give you a Cacnea, which can be shiny. And then also Sierra can give you a Trapinch, which can be shiny, and then also Cliff can give you a Machop, which can be shiny as well. And obviously Shadow Machamp is really, really good, so I definitely advise taking on Cliff if you can take any of them on. And then of course when you beat Giovanni, you get the Groudon too. And then also, you know, there's this event box as well. Nothing really crazy there, but that's all the Pokemon Go stuff. Moving on, we've got some Nintendo Switch 2 kind of mini updates to go over. We have Go Nintendo tweet here. saying the rumor Sonic Heroes remake in the works for the Switch successor. So they say these past few years have been quite busy for Sonic with multiple games and other multimedia projects in the works. One would think the blue blur should be slowing down soon. As we all know though, Sonic is not one to slow down, and if current rumors are true, another big project is in the works. Known insiders Zippo, Necrofelipe, and Midori are now reporting that a Sonic Heroes remake is in works for the Switch successor. I just want to make it abundantly clear though that these two people here do not have the greatest track record. I'm not too sure about the Midori person, but you know, Zippo has said a few things. I think Zippo said there was going to be 2 games coming out this year for Pokemon. They obviously got that wrong. Necrofelipe was one of the people that were kind of pushing the Switch 2 was going to get announced like very soon and stuff like that, and the Nintendo Direct that they got wrong. So they've got things right in the past. They've also got things wrong in the past. Just want to make that abundantly clear. Midori, I'm not actually too sure about. I've not really heard too much about them. But anyway, they are now reporting that a Sonic Heroes remake is in the works for the Switch successor. So to give a full rundown of the events, it all started with Zippo, who initially claimed that Sega was planning a remake of a big, important, seminal 3D Sonic game for in Unreal Engine 5. And then furthering corroborating the rumor was Necrofelipe of Universo Nintendo, who clarified that the game in question was in fact Sonic Heroes. According to Universo Nintendo's sources, the game is planned for release on all modern consoles, including the long-rumored Switch successor. Necrofelipe also goes on to speculate that the game might release in 2025, but that is purely speculation. And then adding further fuel to the fire was Midori on Twitter X, who has correctly leaked information on the Persona series in the past. They backed up Zippo and Felipe's claims and also added that remakes of the Sonic Adventure games are not in the works right now. So Midori actually has a much better track record than the other two, but they are here saying, you know, the other two people are right about it. You know, I'm backing that information up. So while it would seem odd for Sega to opt for remaking Sonic Heroes over the adventure titles, given Sega's recent initiative to push Sonic's friends into roles of prominence, Knuckles getting his own streaming series and Shadow receiving a new story in Sonic X Shadow Generations, it would make sense that they would want to highlight a game with a lot of characters like Sonic Heroes. As with all rumors, take it with a grain of salt. You know, we will be sure to post you up, keep you up to date with it when we hear more information about it. We also have Stealth talking about this as well, saying over the past few months, many Sega games have been rumored for release on the Switch 2. So Metaphor, ReFantasio, Persona 3 Reload, Persona 6, Sonic Heroes Remake, and then Sega Revivals, Jet Set Radio / Shinobi / Streets of Rage. Sega was an early supporter of the Switch, so it wouldn't surprise me to see this level of support. Switch was #1 globally for years. I expect stronger support from all Japanese publishers. The real indicator will be if Yakuza Like a Dragon comes to the Switch 2. So these are all the games from Sega that have been rumored to be coming to the Switch 2. Not straight away, but they have all been rumored to be actually making an appearance at some point for the next gen console. Anyway, that is all that. We're going to finish today's video off with a new rumor that just popped up on 4chan yesterday on the 26th of March. It's titled Pokemon Legends EA Leaks by Anonymous. Now, of course, this has popped up on 4chan, so as always, take it with a massive grain of salt. No idea if it's true or not. After doing a quick skim of it before recording, it's some interesting information in it. But I'm not going to say whether it seems more likely or not because we just simply don't know. But either way, they start things off by saying, "Hi, English is not my native language, or is it?" And then insert Vsauce theme. So yeah, quite an interesting way to start a rumor. But anyway, they go on to say, anyways, Pokemon Legends ZA has nothing to do with the redevelopment or development of Lumiose City. I'm kind of surprised that nearly everyone took it that way. In the trailer, the urban redevelopment plan was the Pokemon Company's way of letting us know that they are completely redeveloping the city of Lumiose as we know it, and they are going to scale it up to realistic standards. Think of GTA type games. The map will be massive, bigger than Kitakami or Blueberry Academy, Terrarium in Scarlet and Violet. I mean, you'd expect it to be... I guess you'd expect it to be bigger than that because that's just a DLC, whereas this is a full-fledged game. But instead of it being barren with few things to do, there will be buildings and people and Pokemon everywhere. Catching Pokemon in this game will be really different compared to all previous titles, that's all I'm going to say. So, I do like that idea, you know, going to like, you know, Vice City for GTA or something like that. Was obviously a massive city and the whole game does take place there. Again, Pokemon has never been really one of those kind of games though, because the whole point of Pokemon is like exploration and catching and going on an adventure and stuff like that, and that's not necessarily what GTA is, or games like that. So it'll be interesting if that is the kind of way they do it. This also kind of gives me the idea that it's a little bit more futuristic, because if they have Lumiose now, like present day X and Y, and they want to redevelop it into a massive city, then it's probably going to take place in the future most likely. Anyway, the story emphasizes a mature themes too mature, not too mature as Pokemon. Something will cause unexpected mega evolutions. Major characters will die. The main villains will seek revenge. We will all get the origins of mega evolution for the third time, but it will still be vague. I mean, we had like death themes and stuff in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet with like the professors, so it's not crazy for like themes of, you know, that to be in Pokemon games. They then go on to say they will reveal starter Pokemon and tease new Mega Evolutions in the next worlds: Snivy, Torchic, and Blastoise. Surprise. So that's quite an interesting lineup, because obviously 2 of these Pokemon already have Mega Evolutions, being Mega Blaziken and Mega Blastoise. So I would expect them to get new forms. And I'm assuming these new Mega Evolutions would just be like, yeah, different ones completely. But it's an interesting lineup, though. And then they go on to say new forms for Xerneas and Yveltal. It will make Xerneas more attack focused and Yveltal more defense / utility focused. Both forms will have some. Both forms will have the same stats. Forms will be like Dialga, Palkia, not Groudon, Kyogre, not Mega Evolution like. New Zygarde form, but not sure for use like Eternamax, but with Mega. Also, a real pseudo-legendary Floette / Eternal Flower like Blood Moon Ursaluna. We better be able to catch Eternal Flower Floette in this game. I'd be really pissed if we don't, because we've been wanting to catch this Pokemon for years and years and years, and if we finally go back to Gen 6 and they don't make it available, I'm going to be super annoyed. They will also announce they have no intention of including Megas in the Generation 9 competitive scene. Makes sense. I mean, Legends EA is probably not going to have a big competitive scene, because there's not going to be any online if it's similar to Legends Arceus. So yeah, there wouldn't be any Megas. Also, it'd be kind of dumb to have Megas and Terrestrialization in the same game, in my opinion. I don't know anything about Gen 5 or Gen 3 remakes. In any case, I've read so many fake 4chan threads here that are focusing on the wrong things. Nice imagination, though. And then sorry for sharing almost nothing. I'll be back when I'm sure about more things, at least some new Megas and story details. They then made a follow-up post to this as well, like a few hours later, saying, "Hi, original poster here. Just wanted to clarify this is mostly a Worlds reveal leak and not fully a Pokemon Legends ZA details leak. To that, I just added the part about story details that I've heard, and that may or may not be true, and the part about legendaries. The rest is confirmed information." So I'm assuming up to this bit here is apparently confirmed information with like the new Megas and the starters and the world stuff, whereas everything below that seems to be apparently they're not sure too much about. So it's definitely interesting. I mean, like, there hasn't really been anything about Worlds, you know. We again, like I said earlier on in the video, we haven't had any updates about it, which is why a press conference would be perfect time to announce some stuff about it. And at that press conference, they might reveal some more stuff about Legends EA as well. It'd be cool if we got some gameplay. I think that's what everyone's kind of really wanting to see, because we just don't know what the games look like. And I think right now, people aren't really that bothered about Legends EA. I know that it's obviously the next Pokemon game, it's just got announced, but it's not coming out for like another year, and we don't know what it looks like. So it's hard to get excited about something that we just know nothing about. You know, like, it's kind of the same as like people getting excited about Gen 10 right now. Like, we know Gen 10's coming, but we just know nothing about it. And so people obviously aren't that excited about it. It's the same thing as Legends EA. You know, we know that it's coming, we just know nothing about it. So, yeah, and I think that's the kind of situation we're in right now. I think we just need some gameplay just to get a little bit more excited about it. But anyway, let me know your thoughts on this rumor here. Do you think it does have any kind of validity? Let me know your thoughts about it. And of course, everything else that we have covered today as well. What are your thoughts on the whole kind of potential press conference thing? Do you think we might be getting something like this in May? What are your thoughts on this potential storyline and plot? Obviously, Pokemon Go stuff. And then as well as that, what are your thoughts on the Nintendo Switch 2 Sega stuff? But that is going to be everything from me. If you enjoyed, like I say, drop a like. Let's try and hit 500 likes. Leave a comment. Subscribe if you're brand new. Ring the notification bell for daily Pokemon content. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And until next time, peace.